Sitting at the crossroads between Southside and Southwest Virginia, Henry County is famous for more than just auto racing, textiles, and this big chair. While Martinsville Speedway thrills hundreds of thousands of visitors each year, engines also roar as farm equipment makes left turns through fields of hay and tobacco. Cattle and tilapia thrive across the county, and fine furniture is still an important industry. Tradition meets innovation here, on and off the track. In the foothills of the Blue Ridge on the southwest side of the county, Darryl Holland and his wife Lillian raise registered Angus cattle, hay, and timber.
It's always been on this farm. We've always had cattle. We've always had a horse or two somewhere, and we've always had coon hounds. You'll probably hear one barking here somewhere, but I enjoy raising livestock, selecting breeding stock, whether it's canine or bovine. I like improving the stock. Like I say, there are a lot of beef cattle farmers around here. A lot of them use the bulls that I raised, and I'm really appreciative to that.
Where hillsides are steep and the soil is not suited for grazing or hay production, timber from loblolly pines is a common investment for Henry County producers.
The reason people plant these pines, these fast-growing loblollies we have now, they'll be ready to harvest in another 20 years. So if you're like 30, you can harvest them at 30, plant them again, harvest them at 50, plant them again, harvest them at 70, and my goodness, if you do like my dad and lives to be 90, you can harvest them again.
In the county's northwest corner, forestry fostered the growth of nationally acclaimed Bassett furniture. Virginia Hamlet serves on their board. She and her husband Butch found a new agricultural passion that helps connect the Bassett community.
Even though we're down here in an area that doesn't have as many wineries, we're not known as a wine region, but we're always proud when we can come home. This year we came home with 3 gold medals from the Governor's Cup, so we feel like we're competing with the bigger areas in the wine world. We primarily host private events here, but we are open to the public 1 day a week, and in an effort to support our private party business, and we created a catering company and Gourmet to Go wine bar in Martinsville, Virginia, that has been a good complement to this business. It gives us another outlet for selling our wine, and really has become a second. We like to think of this as a living room for the community where people can come and hang out.
Winning medals for wine isn't the only competitive focus for the Hamlets. Butch Hamlet is a former race car driver at Martinsville Speedway. Located in southern Henry County, it is home to 2 NASCAR Cup Series races.
Several years I was in contention to win, always running near the front, and had a blast with that. And then I started realizing that the kids I was racing against were definitely young enough to be my kids, maybe my grandkids. And then at a certain point I said, you know what, I'm busy enough around here, I'll step out of race cars.
According to the latest Census of Agriculture, there are 258 farms in Henry County, covering 44,869 acres. The market value of all agricultural products is $18,662,000. Livestock, poultry, and their products account for the majority of sales, coming in at $15,130,000. Crops bring in $3,532,000. $1,336,000 is from hay and other crops, while tobacco earns $833,000 and vegetables, melons, potatoes, and sweet potatoes delivered $766,000 to growers. Henry County is also home to Blue Ridge Aquaculture, the world's largest producer of tilapia using indoor recirculating aquaculture systems. They produce 4 million pounds of tilapia each year.
This year, only thing I have is some hay and wheat. Last year was the first year in over 100 years we hadn't had any tobacco on the farms. We lost our contracts, they're cutting back a whole lot.
Henry County was a big tobacco county up until about 20 years ago, and then they started the buyouts. When that come about, you had a lot of those farmers that moved off into their secondary income type of farming of cattle or hayland, different things like that.
Although tobacco production has been reduced significantly, there are 140 acres of the crop still being grown in the county. In the Ridgeway community, Sandy Height is bringing beauty to Henry County homes with a new venture.
When we bought this farm, it was in the middle of COVID, and people were just having a really hard time and struggling with mental health and everything. And so we decided that that's when we really wanted to do flowers and become the flower farm that we are, because you could come outside and you could cut you a little bit of happiness and then bring it home with you and have something pretty to look at for a few days or, you know, weeks, however long your bouquet lasted, depending on, you know, how you cut it. But it was just something really to get me and my family outside, and then it kind of transitioned into bringing happiness to the community as well.
On the northern end of the county, Jason Bondurant raises cattle on the high hills of the Piedmont. He and his family also sell beef to local customers and ride stock horses.
We've got a small cow-calf operation. We're running about 60 mama cows. They're a red Angus South Pole cross, and we're kind of breeding up towards the South Pole side of it. We take most of our steers after they're weaned. Got 2 different buyers that we can sell our steers to, or we can keep steers and grow them out and sell them as retail cuts of beef. And our heifers, we raise them and sell them as bred heifers, the ones that we don't put back into our herd.
Farmers here lost significant income when tobacco production declined 2 decades ago. But with deep roots and tradition, the farm families of Henry County are innovating to stay one lap ahead. Reporting from Henry County, Virginia, I'm Elijah Griles.